So I want to thank you guys for taking the time and the commitment to do something that for most people is really challenging, and it's your nutrition. And I believe it's one of the most important things, one of the most important parts and processes of losing weight, getting fit, and just your overall health. So I want to thank you for trusting me with your most valued asset, your health. And I think it's time for us to get this started. I assume at this point you've already either printed out the PDF file or you just have it in front of you. So we're going to start off in the left column with starchy carbs. And as you can see, I'm going to go down and we're going to talk about these carbs. So you have brown rice, oatmeal, cream of wheat, sweet potatoes, whole wheat pasta, whole wheat bread, and quinoa. Now, what I'd like for you to do for the first 21 days is to avoid whole wheat pasta and bread at all costs. I'm trying to get you to your lowest point, meaning I call this process empty your bucket, meaning I want to get you to your lowest point, and then after that we can do some tweaks. But for now, if you're trying to lean out, I'd like for you to stay away from whole wheat pasta and bread. That being said, we're going to go over to the protein box. The protein box, you have chicken, turkey, pork, red meat, seafood, egg whites, and protein shakes. The protein shakes we're going to talk about in the supplement column. So for now, let's focus on the pork and the red meat. I'd like for you to not avoid these meats, but just to have them in moderation. So basically, if you're having pork or red meat, try to do it once or maybe twice a month. And when you do it, you want to make sure that you get the leanest kind. So if it's pork, a pork tenderloin. If it's red meat, it's a sirloin steak. Just make sure that you're eating high quality protein. So that being said, let's move over to the fibrous carbs. Right under it says only green veggies. If you stick to all greens, you'll be safe. I pointed some of the ones I like the most here, and I like lettuce, tomatoes, green beans, broccoli, green peas, asparagus, cabbage, spinach, cucumbers. Pretty much any veggie that's green is good. One of the things that I'd like you to avoid is corn, no carrots, and no onions. They're stacked with sugar. You want to stay away from them as much as possible. I always say if you've ever been to a pig farm, that's usually what they feed the pigs. So if you want to get chubby like a pig, then go ahead and have some corn, carrots, and onions. Otherwise, stay away from them. If we look at the drinks column, you have water, coffee, unsweetened iced tea, Crystal Light. Anything sweetened with Splenda or stevia is fine. If you drink alcohol, I want to be realistic. I want to really just be realistic. I know eventually you're going to go out, have a drink. If you're going to do that, I want you to really just be careful what you're drinking. So red wine is better than white wine. If you're having cocktails, vodka, soda is the best way to go. And here's a drink that I came up with this little combination that I call Crystal Teenies. And they're basically vodka and water with Crystal Light. So you can bring little packages of Crystal Light with you and make a Crystal Teeny. They taste great, and that is the lowest caloric way to go if you're gonna go out and have a couple of drinks. Let's focus on the supplement part. Supplements. There are 3 supplements that I highly recommend. One of them is the Fat Body Coach Whey Protein, which you can purchase on this website. I also have the Vitamins and Multi-Mineral Daily, which is it's laced a vitamin with a multi-mineral to keep all your levels optimal. Also, we have the Endurance Plus, and those are your amino acids. And this is what we call the Special Athlete Formula, and it has HGH properties, and it keeps you at optimal conditions, especially when you're training really hard. So all 3 supplements I highly recommend. It's really easy to take the vitamin and the multi-mineral. You want to take those in the morning after your meal. Same thing with the Endurance Plus. And so go ahead and purchase that, and I highly recommend those. We're going to look at the dressings column now. In the dressings column, what I would like to do is to keep things really simple. If you're, for whatever reason, if you start this nutrition plan and your food is not tasting good, you're not being creative enough. You don't want your food to be bland. Therefore, you can use any dressing. I just want you to put it on the side and dip as you go. if you want to have a little more control over what you're eating as far as dressings go, Walden Farms has a great it's a great brand. It has all different kinds of dressings. It has Thousand Islands, ranch, Italian, ketchup, and they have no carbohydrates, no sugar, a little high in sodium, but they're fine. And you can find those at any supermarket. And just ask one of the attendants where you could find them, because sometimes they put them in funny places. So Walden Farms, those are really good. If you like mayonnaise, you can stick to mayonnaise, no more than 2 teaspoons a day. If you like butter, I can't believe it's not butter, is the best way to go. The spray is way better than the spread. If you're cooking, hopefully you're cooking with Pam or any non-stick cooking spray. Olive oil is okay, but it's a little overrated. I'd rather you stick to the more safe stuff like Pam or once again, any non-stick spray is way better. We're going to go on to the column where it says sweeteners. And I really like stevia more than any other thing out there in the market right now. It's healthy, and you're watching for your calories. You want to stay away from white sugar as much as you can. A teaspoon of white sugar takes your body 42 hours to digest. So just keep that in mind. Avoid white sugar at all costs. And stevia or Splenda is the way to go. Okay, all that being said, let's move on to personal notes. And we already talked about this. No corn, no carrots, no onions. They're stacked with sugar. Fruit has tons of sugar and carbohydrates once a day if necessary. What that means is some of you guys are what I call a fruitarian, and you have to have a piece of fruit. And so if that's the case, try and do that before 2 p.m. But if you can avoid it, at least for the first 21 days, that would work. Just because of the sugar and carbohydrate content in the fruit. Okay, in the next column, we're looking at multivitamins. You want to take your multivitamins in conjunction with your first meal. So first meal in the morning, you take your vitamin and multimineral. You want to take 2 of those, and then your Endurance Plus, which are your amino acids. You want to take 2 of those as well. And so we're looking also at the Uru's oil. Uru's oil is good for your hair, your eyes, your heart, your skin. It curbs your cravings. It keeps your energy levels up. Keep in mind that you're not going to be eating a lot of fats, so you want to replace them with good fats, and Uru's oil does that for you. You can get that pretty much at any GNC vitamin shop, and they're usually refrigerated. It's liquid, and it's meant to be kept in your fridge. So just make sure you're always keeping that cool. It shouldn't be out. And so, yeah, keep it in your fridge. Next, we have water. You want to have at least a gallon of water a day, or at least half a gallon of water a day. And the reason we're drinking water is not so much for the hydration purposes, but we want to get rid of toxins. We want to make sure that the nutrients you're eating are actually being absorbed by your digestive system. And so you want to have sufficient water in you. And also, it gets rid of all the toxins in your body. I assume if you're signing up to this program, you're working out every day, you're accumulating a lot of lactic acid, and you want to make sure that your body's getting rid of it. And the best way to do that is through water. So make sure you're drinking tons of water throughout the day. Okay, resistance training is as important as cardio. Doing weights is great, but you want to make sure that you're getting your cardio anywhere from 3 to 4 times a week. I highly recommend doing power walking, 45 minutes to an hour of power walking. Power walking consists, if you're doing it on the treadmill, your speed would probably be 3.5 to 4.0. And you want to be consistent with that walk. A lot of people tell me, well, I went out and I walked my dog. Well, your dog stops every two steps, and that brings your heart rate down. So you want to keep your heart at the same pace for 45 minutes to an hour of power walking. You want to be able to keep a conversation so you're not activating your system in a cardiovascular way. You're not working on your endurance. You're basically working on dropping your body fat percentages, and the way to do that is to power walk. I would recommend you do some research on power walking, and you see all the benefits to power walking. It's way better than running or doing any intense cardio workout. So that's pretty much it for resistance training. Make sure you're getting that in. Make sure you, if you happen to be out one of these days just running errands and you don't have a meal around, you don't have a protein shake, and you're going to have a protein bar, make sure that you look at the caloric content. Protein bars, for the most part, are like candy bars. These supplement lines have done a really, really good job at making these protein bars seem like they're healthy, but they're just like a candy bar. So I would stay away from them as much as possible. Here it says, in case of an emergency, meaning if you have nothing else, I'd rather you have a protein bar than go 5 or 6 hours without eating. Okay, next we're going to go on to the guidelines. And what I'd like you to do is begin meals as soon as you wake up in the morning, unless you're doing cardio. Empty stomach cardio is the best cardio you can do. And also you want to eat up to 30 minutes before going to bed. So here's the big misconception. And it's that you can't eat past a certain time. And that is a huge misconception, because you want to make sure that you have nutrients right before you go to bed, so that your body, 4 hours after you've been sleeping, you generally enter a catabolic state, meaning there's no nutrients in your stomach and your muscles are being consumed, and it's a breakdown process. So you want to make sure that you have a protein shake right before you go to bed, or you can even have a chicken breast or some tilapia. Make sure it's all protein. Stay away from carbohydrates at night, and you're guaranteed to succeed in this. Eat meals every 3 hours. Should not go without eating more than 4. Every meal should consist of protein and some form of carbohydrates. What I mean by that is I've seen people eat just a bowl of pasta. No all carbs, no protein. Make sure that you're eating protein with all your meals, whether it's a salad or a vegetable, or it's before 2 p.m. if you're trying to lose weight and you're having a starchy carb, you're combining that with a lean protein. Keep in mind that your diet accounts for 80%, almost 90% of your results. And if you're trying to lose weight, I would recommend no carbs past 2 p.m. If you're fine with your weight, you're happy with your weight, and you're just trying to gain some muscle, I would still say keep your carbs under 4 p.m. And you want to make sure that you're combining it with a lean protein every time. So all that being said, I'd like to give you an example of what a day would look like after all this stuff that we talked about. And so we're going to say in this example that this person wakes up at 6 a.m. and they're having their first meal is egg whites and oatmeal. Keep in mind, I did talk to you about the supplements, so make sure right after that breakfast you're having your vitamin and mineral daily and your endurance plus. So you're having 2 of those with your breakfast. Meal 2, in this case, would be at 9 a.m. This person's having a protein shake. Meal 3 is at 12 p.m. This person is having chicken, brown rice, and green vegetables. Meal 4 is at 3 p.m. and it's a protein shake. Meal 5 is at 6 p.m. and they're having a salmon, broccoli with salad. So notice that this person stopped eating carbohydrates. Their last carbohydrate meal was at 12 p.m. At 3 they did a shake. At 5 they did veggies with salmon and some salad. And then meal 6 was their last meal, and that was a protein shake. So if you notice, we did a meal, a shake, a meal, a shake, a meal, a shake. And that's how you want to keep it. Shakes are a great way to for you to be able to bring in all those meals, because if you had to do 6 meals a day, that would be really labor intensive, and let's be honest, how long would you be able to do that for? So make sure you always have your protein shakes with you. Make sure you plan. It's the most important thing that you can do to stay on track, is to really plan out your day, your week. I would suggest cooking on Sunday and just cooking a bunch of chicken breasts, some steak. Make sure you have you always have food in your fridge. That's the most important thing. You want to prepare for everything. And so I generally do it on Sundays, and my meals will last to about Wednesday, and then Wednesday I cook again all the way till Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, guys, so last but not least, I want to talk to you guys about portion control. When it comes to brown rice, the first week I'd like for you to do 1 handful of cooked brown rice. Oatmeal, I'd like for you to do on the first week as well 1 handful of uncooked Quaker oats. Same thing goes for the cream of wheat. If you're eating cream of wheat, you can do 1 package of cream of wheat, or you can measure it with your hand and do 1 handful of cream of wheat. Sweet potatoes, I want a sweet potato that's no bigger than the palm of your hand. We already talked about staying away from whole wheat pasta and whole wheat bread for the time being. Same thing goes for quinoa. Just one handful of quinoa on your first week. So on the second week, all you're going to do is you can upgrade to 2 handfuls of each of these items. As far as the protein goes, if it's chicken breast, I want you to look at the palm of your hand, and the chicken breast should be as big as the palm of your hand and as thick as the palm of your hand. Pretty much same thing goes for turkey, your red meat, etc., etc. So literally you're using the palm of your hand to measure this. Remember, carbohydrates on the first week, 1 handful. Second week, you're going to upgrade to 2 handfuls. And for your protein portion control, you're basically going to do the size of the palm of your hand and the thickness of the palm of your hand.
I wish you tons of luck with this. Please let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me an email. Give me a call. I'd love to help you out with anything I can to make you successful with this. Please go on to the site if you're not on here already, and there's tons of resources. It's www.fatbodycoach.com. I'm JT Tapias, and once again, I want to thank you. I appreciate you trusting me, and I know you're going to be successful as long as you stick to this. One last thing, don't forget to do your cardio, nutrition, and your resistance training is the most important thing. Those 3 things need to connect in order for you to be successful. I wish you the best, and thank you.